Madden Football is the home of the Super Bowl, and this historic matchup is brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Saints and the reigning Super Bowl champs, and it's coming up next.
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. We count down to kickoff in what should be an epic one here, as it'll be the AFC champion Baltimore Ravens taking on the NFC champions, the New Orleans Saints. "59 years of champions have come and gone. Who will claim number 60 as we're off in the 2026 Super Bowl? This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. Oh, a good return up past the 30. There he goes, left side. And he will score. Touchdown, Saints.
Brandon, this is the Super Bowl. A touchdown scored in any game is big. In this one, it's massive.
Now the try here for the extra point. And it's good as the Saints have a 7-0 lead. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
Real quick, ready?
The drive will start with an option going left. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. 11 yards there on the first play from scrimmage. And this, I mean, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that. And here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ball game. And all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Hey, middle. Quick, right?
On the counter now, it's Dobbins. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there. That time a little misdirection really seemed to fool the defense.
And think of it this way. From the time you're in high school, you're taught to watch film and pick up tendencies. Sometimes they can use those against you, though, when they break their own tendencies and hit you back the opposite direction, huh?
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Hey, report.
Another run here with Dobbins. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Hey, 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. And now Jackson will look to throw it. This throw taken in by Isaiah Likely. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
Well, after the standard 2-week layoff, you always wonder how's your offense going to respond and come out and play here in the Super Bowl. Well, they got a great answer right there and almost a sigh of relief on that side of the field because now they've got to feel like they can use their entire playbook and game plan for this one.
So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays. The impressive opening drive continues and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
Dobbins. Touchdown, Baltimore. Just power football there, down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in, have to report like they're eligible. But all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. They begin on the ground with Kamara. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Again, it's Kamara. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. From the gun, here's Watson. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Odafe Oweh drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long. Here comes the Saints punter now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. And he'll take it just outside the 40. 46 yards on the boot. The coverage holds him to just 3 on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
As the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments to prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively. Off the play fake to Dobbins, here's Jackson.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. It's another first down as this time they get an even 20.
I'll give them credit for a good read right there because they read the man coverage on the right side and sent the tight end a few steps down the field and then angled him to the left on a crossing route. And he was able to get enough separation on this play to turn it into a nice gain.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
An option handoff here to Dobbins.
And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last two plays.
Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. I also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
They'll run with Dobbins.
And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
Good work there, holding him out on first down. And this is going to be a battle down here on the goal line. Can they hold their ground for 2, maybe even 3 more plays?
They'll try to run with Dobbins.
And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown.
J.K. Dobbins.
His 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl.
And the Ravens have taken the lead.
Tucker with the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
We'll see a return here from the end zone.
And he's going to get this across the 20 as he's out of bounds at the 23. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10.
And not much doing there. Maybe a yard up to the 23.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Here's Watson. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Here's Watson. And that's knocked away and incomplete.
And this is what you want to see from a defense. Give up an opening drive touchdown, that's fine. But how about them going back out there, recommitting themselves to the task at hand, and forcing a 3-and-out and giving the ball back to their offense.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Fielded at about the 28. 45 yards. That's what the punt goes for. 5 on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
To about the 35, 2nd down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Jackson.
Right side, there's Likely with it. And they're going to move it down the inside the 25.
You ask tight ends about their favorite routes to run, and surprisingly, this will pop up as one of their staples because they run so many routes in the middle of the field. How about this one? Starts downfield, bends it to the corner, great touch on the football, and they turn that one into a big play.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. Shifts by at the 15. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
55 rushing yards, rushing for him now in the opening quarter of this Super Bowl.
I really enjoy watching Lamar Jackson run those RPOs, Charles, but I'll tell you what, it's tough calling play-by-play because you don't know whether he handed it off or kept it.
Makes you focus, doesn't he? You've got to try and stay with it, and even when we do, we often can get it wrong because our eyes naturally go to him because he creates big plays. But if you're a runner and you're playing with Lamar Jackson, aren't you happy? He creates so much concentration on him, it should open up things for you.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
On 2nd down, a run with Dobbins.
And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. Here's Jackson to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. We've got a lot more ahead of us here in Super Bowl 60. 2nd quarter coming your way next. It's the Ravens out in front. The NFL on EA Sports continues right after this message. And the first play will be a field goal try. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. Tucker's kick is good.
So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
And this will be returned from deep in the end zone.
And he's going to be out of bounds here right at the 20-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. It's been an awfully slow start for them. This is their third possession. They don't have a first down yet.
So that means they have to change up what they're doing, and for some teams, it's a change in tempo, usually moving it to more up-tempo type of an offense just to try and change their fortunes right now. What they've been doing so far isn't working. Maybe they'll do that.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. To throw is Watson. Looking middle, and that's complete. He was a 1,000-yard receiver during the regular season, and that's his first catch of this Super Bowl, and he picks up the first down. They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Second and 6. No, scratch that. 2nd and 7.
Now it's Watson, escaping the pressure right. On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Watson now to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yardage on 1st and 2nd down.
A good return there, 17 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, sometimes as a running back, you've got to be able to improvise when the hole's not where you expect it to be. But in this case, there wasn't any improvisation that he could do that was going to work. Kind of like if you're trying to be a comedian on open mic night at the Improv and you run into a tough crowd.
On 2nd down, there's the option going left.
And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49.
And that one will go for 13 yards on the keeper and a 1st down.
I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL. They're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
Jackson on the give to Dobbins.
And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
So the 1st down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Now it's Jackson. He'll rifle this one deep right side. This is caught inside the 15. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown.
For all the deserved accolades Lamar Jackson gets for his running prowess, his deep ball, it's really a thing to behold as well.
And I'm telling you, nothing will let up a crowd more than a play like that. Here in the stadium, all eyes were on the receiver streaking downfield, and everyone was thinking, throw it, he's open. What a connection there for the touchdown.
And you get a look at the final readout on air distance, according to Next Gen Stats.
And the kick makes it through, but flags come flying in as well. It appears we're going to get a roughing call tacked on.
And that flag accepted.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. On first down, it's Watson.
Into a sea of defenders and intercepted.
Picked off by Marlon Humphrey.
And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. Well, we've seen a lot of mistakes here in this first half, and another there on the interception.
Yeah, they're certainly starting to pile up, aren't they? Because, let's face it, we expect a miscue here and there, but they're already down 3 scores and still giving the ball away. If they want to get back into this one, they've got to take care of the ball, because right now the way they're playing doesn't say a whole lot for their chances.
A handoff running left is Dobbins.
And he takes it down to the 10-yard line.
69 yards rushing for him now in the first half of this Super Bowl.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Play action. It's Jackson. Sliding out of the pocket. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds, right at the 3. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
No surprise to see him running again here. It's something he's done throughout this season. And that run puts him over 500 yards on the ground for the year. He's got to be thinking to himself, if I'm already at 500.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown.
J.K. Dobbins
with his 3rd touchdown of this Super Bowl.
And the Ravens continue to look good here in the first half of this Super Bowl.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
He will return this from deep in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Back to throw, Watson. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Greg Newsome. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
So that challenge, a successful one. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
A give up the middle to Dobbins. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 79 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
Right back to Dobbins on first. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I keep going back to him.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. They go play action now. Jackson steps away to his left. This is caught inside the 15. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 42 yards. Now they'll send a tight end in motion left. Dobbins trying the left side. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
Definitely an important sequence here for this defense. They've had their share of struggles in this first half. They just cannot afford to give up another touchdown here.
Second and goal from the 1. One more time with Dobbins. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. J.K. Dobbins with a record 4th Super Bowl touchdown tonight. And the Ravens are starting to open things up here in the Super Bowl. Tucker with the extra point, and a rout is on here in this first half. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. Another try after the first down sack. Watson, he's going to air one out, and that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play, but sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one, weren't able to do so.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. In trouble, and the ball's out. It's in the end zone loose. And what else could go wrong at this point? This is going to be a defensive touchdown as they keep piling it on. And what we just saw, very, very rare. We only had 5 of those in the first 50 Super Bowls.
The biggest stage, the biggest game, and we just saw it happen again. Extraordinary.
The defense has been good, and they were good again there. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
Things for them, just to put it bluntly, man, it has been tough sledding here in the first half, facing that big deficit. The clock is dwindling now. Maybe if they can get something on the board here before intermission, they'll have at least a little momentum heading into the second half.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first half scores just like this one.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Watson flush to his right. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Watson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, this defense is going to have to finish the job. There's still a second half that they have to play. But so far, an absolute total effort. They've disrupted the passing game, stressed the pocket for the quarterback. They forced him into errant throws. Everything they're doing has been executed well.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. To the air yet again, Watson. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
All right, help me out here a little bit, partner, because what I'm seeing is a passing game that's just struggled to complete anything. No rhythm, no timing. Seems like every pass is also contested well, so give some credit to the defense.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. An incomplete pass on 2nd down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Now Watson. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return.
And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
1 second, all that remains.
Yeah.
And he's going to lose yardage. Not that it matters as the final seconds tick away. So we've reached halftime here in the Super Bowl. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
And I would imagine this is where you have to take stock of the situation, CD, and say, guys, we're halfway to the Lombardi Trophy. Let's not slow down now.
And I like the way you went there. Let's not slow down now, because the first half certainly went their way. And I would expect them to continue with that type of a game plan. But you're right. You do think back to Super Bowl 54. 49ers had a double-digit lead in the 4th quarter, couldn't hold on. So plenty can still happen.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. They'll go again with Dobbins. And he powers his way up past the 30. 4 yards on the pickup there, as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down.
Middle.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson.
That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman.
And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. His first catch of this Super Bowl, and it'll be good for a first down.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. 104 yards rushing for him now as he goes over the century mark here in this Super Bowl.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Jackson. On target to his man, Likely. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch now.
In need of only about the length of the football here on 2nd down. Here's a give to Dobbins. Oh, and fine work there as he gets this thing down to the 11-yard line. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18. Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage, but every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback keeps it, that allows you to fool the defense so often. And in this case, fooled them with the inside run.
We changed it.
Here's a give to Dobbins running right. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Dobbins running out of the gun. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3.
Not a big run, not an explosive run, but they've held the ball for plenty of plays on this drive. They're just trying to impose their will on the defense right now.
Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. Jackson going to throw quickly here, complete. Touchdown! From 3 yards out. And the Ravens are starting to pour it on the game's biggest stage. They are running away with this Super Bowl. Tucker with the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. On 1st and 10, Watson flushed out right. Got his man, Robbie Anderson. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards. Well, the margin on that scoreboard, obviously, for them, it looks daunting. I don't know, Charles. They're probably not focused on that right now. Maybe just chaining together a positive drive with plays like we just saw, giving themselves something to build on.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And what they have to be careful of is getting glued to that scoreboard trying to do too much. Because if you do that, you're all but guaranteed to start making mistakes. Just focus on one play at a time and make each one successful.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Watson. That is caught by Anderson. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Well, so far, little to no resistance by the defense on this drive alone. 3 passes, 3 completions, 3 first downs. They're taking it to him, and it's paying off.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 down at the 33. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's 2nd down. This defense just continues to bottle up that ground game. And look, I mean, the deficit right now for this offense is so big that it might not matter. But you're still in the 3rd quarter. They're probably going to have to try things through the air, Charles.
I agree with you totally. That's what they'll have to do. They do need to run it occasionally to take a few hits off the quarterback, because right now, you just know those pass rushers are fired up to get after him.
And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27. We're just looking at the scoreboard and where we're at in the 3rd quarter. I don't know that it's going to matter much at this point, CD, but these small runs on the ground, they're not going to get it done.
No, they're not. And right now, the guys stopping the run have been superior in this ball game, giving them no openings, no seams, and now they've got this game well in hand.
He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Armour-Davis. And the Ravens are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
Partner's bad enough when you just can't hold on to the football. But when your quarterback's throwing it to the other team, that's 3 interceptions now, 4 turnovers for the game. You really have no chance to win the football game.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass. Defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a bead on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action, and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. Third quarter of the biggest spectacle in sport, the Super Bowl. Thanks for joining us, everybody. 2nd and 10. They'll go option to the short side. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And he's got his tight end. That's Andrews. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. Well, that's one way to convert on 3rd down, picking up 26 yards.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
On the counter now, it's Dobbins. And some room to work. 20, 10, and he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. J.K. Dobbins, 50 yards. And the Ravens extend their lead yet again. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And a heck of a return as he goes out of bounds across the 50 inside the 45.
For a quick second there, I thought we were about to have a repeat performance of a kickoff return for a touchdown. This guy's on fire today.
They'll try to get the offense going with Kamara.
And good work there in open space. And he's got this all the way down now to the 32.
The Saints first down there on a gain of 11.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. Now a first down throw, Watson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Second time in this game, Charles, the ball has squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
Up next, the biggest quarter of the entire season. At the end of that, we get to crown a champion. We are through 3 here in Super Bowl 60.
We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Going up top. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
They'll probably spend a little extra time dissecting the game film after this when I think the part of their plan was to hit them over the top with the deep ball. They've been unsuccessful all night.
The offense on third down tonight, a pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This will be third and forever.
Again, Watson to keep it.
And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up fourth down. Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Fielded at the 20. 43 yards on the punt, 7-yard return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
And they are trying to play it cool down on the sidelines, but they know that they are very close now to wrapping this thing up and letting the celebration begin. A Super Bowl title within reach now as they try to polish this thing off.
And I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces, and I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They'll try to run for it with Dobbins.
He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and to big yardage all night long.
A 40-yard punt, no return, and the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Those Super Bowl hopes that they had really dwindling now here in the fourth quarter. That NFC crown that they got 2 weeks. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Marcus Williams.
And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
They'll run up the gap with Dobbins.
And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Tackle made by Devondre Campbell. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
From the gun, they'll try to run it.
A big part of a middle linebacker's job is being able to take on blocks and then go make plays. But the best ones, they have those big guys in front of them playing defensive line that hold blockers off of them and allow them to flow sideline to sideline and make the big hits.
The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is 3rd down.
A shotgun snap and a give to Dobbins.
And they will stop him short. They get him to the ground at the 27. No first down. It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves them looking at a 4th down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And Tucker left that one out to the right. It's no good, off the mark, but that's just a minor blip here in what's been a thoroughly dominating performance. Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the 4th quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
And it's becoming more and more apparent that this is just not going to be their night. That Lombardi Trophy so close, but the expectations simply have not matched the results as they start on this drive, 1st and 10. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Watson. Quick hitter here. It's complete. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And defensively, Baltimore's in a dime look here on 3rd. Operating from the gun. Watson. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him.
David Ojabo,
his 2nd sack of the night.
How about that, partner? His 2nd sack of the game, and that puts him in some pretty good company. 17 guys have had 2 sacks in the previous 52 Super Bowls, but only 3 have had the record number of 3 sacks in this game.
And we've got the list here. If he gets another one and everyone behaves nicely, we might just list those out for him. They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Well, CD, you and I do a lot of games together, but it is pretty rare that we do a game of this margin. I mean, this has just been total domination from start until now, and I don't think they're going to take their foot off the gas at this point.
Do you think that on the sideline, some jokester said to one of his teammates, maybe a few of them, hey, we're up 50. Why not go for 100? You think maybe that line was uttered on the sideline? I can't believe what we're seeing here. An NFL game this lopsided.
And he'll get this up to about the 40. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Ravens on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Now a handoff running through the middle. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. The Ravens send their punter out now as he'll kick it away for the second time. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this punt sails over the sideline. And the spot, it looks to be right at the 25-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again. They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10, Watson. And he comes back with one complete. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens 33. 19 yards the pick up there. Move the chains.
Now, this is certainly one of the bigger losses that we are going to see for quite some time. And you have to think at this point where we're at in the fourth quarter with how wide this advantage is. For this offense, they're just trying to end things with a positive drive and then get the heck out of here.
Yeah, if this had been a concert, you would have heard plenty of sour notes in this one. But they certainly don't want to end it on one. They want to put together a few more throws like that and at least have
And now here is another interception.
Kyle Hamilton picks it, and the Ravens will take over here just shy of the 30.
Yet another mistake after the interception there. And, gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter.
And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away.
On second down, a run with Dobbins.
He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
And he'll get this only up to about the 35. He'll get a couple of yards on the keeper, but it's going to lead to a fourth down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
Taken in at the 22. It's a 39-yard punt, and good coverage means a loss on the return. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Operating from the gun, Watson. He's going to let it fly. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. And it's all over. Just one is left standing, and that one is the Baltimore Ravens, your Super Bowl champions. And their remarkable season ends in the most remarkable of ways.